call, please.
Chair
Good.
LaFaro,
Present.
Vice Chair Finnerty,
Present.
the Secretary is present. Board Member Mutu is absent. Board Member Neely,
Present.
Board Member Fulham,
Present.
Board Member Glazer is absent. We have a quorum.
Thank you. Please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We need somebody from this.
Is any staff here?
Good questions.
Did you see any staff, Christine? Nobody's here.
Brennan was,
Oh,
I was afraid of this.
he was here a minute ago.
Yeah, but.
Well, you can go
I
over the
think you have
procedurals.
nightmares about this. When I'm in the plane, boy, there's no staff. It's like, ah,
Because to
wake
keep
up.
track of notes and stuff, we need-
Yeah. I'll just take notes.
Oh, she put up all the posters
Yeah,
there.
all that. Yay.
Kristen's checking. Science.
Okay. Okay, the first item on the agenda is 1456 SRR LLC. Do we have notice, council?
We do, Madam Chair.
We do.
Good to read.
Tom?
Okay. Please take notice that in accordance with local law number 14 of 2022, a public hearing will be held by the Southampton Town Planning Board on Thursday, November 14th, 2024, at 6 p.m. at Town Hall, 116 Hampton Road, Southampton, and via video conferencing to consider the site plan special exception application entitled 1456 SRR LLC. The application for the construction of two one-story buildings totaling 24,650 square feet and associated parking for special trade contractor uses on a 2.82 acre property situated in the LI 40 zoning district, Aquifer Protection Overlay District, and Pine Barrens Compatible Growth Area located at 1456 Spionk Riverhead Road, Spionk, Remsenburg, Suffolk County Tax Map 900-327-1-2.
Thank you. Is there someone here to represent the application, please?
Good evening. I'm Susanna Herman from N Consultants, 1319 North Sea Road, Southampton, for the applicant. This board has seen this application a few times already. It is LI 40, so it's light industrial zoning. We're proposing two buildings. One, building A would be 14,500 square feet. Building B would be 10,150 square feet. They would be used for special trade contractors. Sorry. A use that is much needed in the town. It's an appropriate use for this area. There are other similar buildings and properties in the area. As I mentioned, it's LI 40, light industrial zoning. It's in the compatible growth area for Pine Barrens. They would be one-story metal buildings. We just got ARB approval last week. As I think you had a aerial photo, which I've submitted previously, but I just wanted to point out there's already a lot of disturbance on the property. The whole southeast corner is cleared. There's an existing residence on the property that would be removed. Most of the vegetated area is actually highly disturbed. There's multiple old foundations from old buildings that are in that area. There's a lot of invasive vegetation. There's very little of the land that's not disturbed, with piles of fill, old equipment, previous disturbance on the property. So the property would be revegetated so that it would be 53.5% cleared after construction and revegetation. We've provided a very extensive native revegetation plan with a mix of shrubs, grasses, trees, all native. and a nice degree of biodiversity there as part of that.
Did you say there's gonna be 53% clearing at the end?
53.5% clearing.
Okay, that's in excess of the 50% allowable.
That is, we are offering a pine barren credit to accommodate the additional
Oh, okay.
clearing.
Okay, any other questions? Anyone from the audience would like to speak to this application? Anyone on Zoom, Kevin?
No one on Zoom.
Okay. And this is special
Public hearing.
public, so this is a 10-day.
10-day motion.
Motion to close with the 10-day written comment period
Motion.
by Dennis, second by Gloria, and all in favor.
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions? 5 in favor, 2 absent. Thank you, Susanna. Okay, number 2 is John Galt.
You give notice, Christine?
We do.
Very good. Please take notice in accordance with local law 14 of 2022, a public hearing will be held by the Southampton Town Planning Board on Thursday, November 14th, 2024 at 6 p.m. at Town Hall, 116 Hampton Road, Southampton, and via video conferencing to consider a covenant amendment entitled John Galt Lot 2, the subject property 478 Loper's Path is part of Lot 1 of the subdivision of the estate of Charles Vanderveer Jr., which required covenant exclusive access over a common driveway to Daylily Lane. In addition to the subject property was created as Lot 2 of the subdivision of John Galt, which permitted Lot number 2 to access from Loper's Path at the town road, but also required it by an amendment declaration of covenants filed September 28, 2018, Liber 12980, the construction of a portion of the common driveway to Daylily Lane. The request is to amend the covenants to release the owner of the obligation to improve the common driveway along the flagpole strip to Daylily Lane, hamlet of Bridgehampton.
Thank you, Dennis. Carl, please.
Good evening. Carl Benacasa, 860 Montauk Highway, Watermill, New York, for the applicant. As Mr. Finnerty mentioned, in 1987, this parcel was subdivided into 4 lots. We're talking about Lot 1 today. In 2018, members of this board may remember, Lot 1 was further subdivided into the northern section, which is Lot 1 of the John Galt subdivision, and a southern section, which is Lot 2 of the John Galt subdivision. When this subdivision was done, the former Lot 1, which is now 1 and 2 of the subsequent subdivision, was required, as was each lot in this, that this common driveway from Daylily be improved to certain standards that are mentioned in the covenant, including paved, obviously, to provide access. As the area has developed, Lot 1 and subsequent to the subdivision, Loper's Pass was ultimately created, which provided direct access to Lot 2. And Mill Path was created, which provided direct access to Lot 1. However, when this subdivision was done, although it relieved Lot 1 of the responsibilities to improve this, this right-of-way, this common driveway, it did not relieve Lot 2 of those responsibilities, even though Lot 2 is getting direct access from Lopers. To require paving this road now, this common driveway now, would mean paving the backyard of this lot, former Lot 3 of this subdivision, which is improved and provides access. I would note that this lot is improved, this lot is improved, this lot is improved. The current access as it's developed over time is Lot 2 here has gained access off of Mill Path. Lot 3 has a dirt common driveway that it obtains access from, and Lot 4 obtains access off of the common driveway, which is dirt as well. None of these, the COs for these 3 did not require the work to be done. They didn't have to be done. In fact, the CO for Lot 2 has been issued, even though this work hasn't been done. So essentially, this is a relic of a 30-year-old subdivision, approximately 30-year-old subdivision that is no longer in use, no longer needed. And to improve this would be to create a road to nowhere over an area adjacent to this Lot 3. Now, the building department took it upon itself to issue the CO. So I represent the former owner of the property. Now, in conjunction, Wayne Bruin represents the current owner. The sale took place earlier this year, about 2 months ago. I've talked to Wayne today about it. The current owner of Lot 2, my client's predecessor or successor in title, has no issue with this, obviously. And we're here essentially as part of the agreement in that transaction to clean up what is an unused, essentially relic imposed by the 1987 subdivision. So to relieve Lot 1 of having to improve this, and essentially that's it. Again, I would note the building department issued CO. So the building department essentially took notice that this is no longer required, no longer issued, but and we've met our obligations as as sellers under the contract of sale, but we've agreed in a spirit of goodwill to continue with the application.
So you need a covenant amendment.
That's what we're asking
Yeah.
for. Yeah.
Yeah. Any questions? We've looked at this before.
Yeah.
Anyone wish to speak to this? Kevin, anyone on Zoom?
No one on Zoom.
Okay, so we will close this hearing with a 10-day written comment period.
Motion.
Motion by Dennis, second by Kate. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions, 5 in favor, 2 absent. Thank you, Carl.
Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
You
Thank
too.
Carl.
Bye.
Good to see
So
you.
number 3 is, number 3 and 4
And 5.
and 5 are pretty much the same application, one site plan, one subdivision. Do I have to call them separately?
You have to call them separately, but you can open them together.
Okay, good. So let's start with number 3, which is the NRP Holding subdivision. And
Do
we have notice?
We have notice, yes.
Okay.
Please take notice that in accordance with local law number 14 of 2022, a public hearing will be held by the Southampton Town Planning Board on Thursday, November 14, 2024 at 6 p.m. at Town Hall, 116 Hampton Road, Southampton, and via video conferencing to consider the pre-application entitled NRP Holdings LLC. The project is for a 3-lot subdivision with open space totaling 22.9 acres located in the MFPRD and the CR40 zoning districts, located at 670 Montauk Highway and 107 South Country Road, Hamlet of Quayog, Southampton, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 900-359-4-46 and 47.
Christine, should I have them all read into the record and then we can discuss
Yeah,
it?
and that's, you're opening them all together, but reading them all individually, and when you close them, you'll close the whole thing out.
Okay, so number 4, then Kate, you would read that NRP Holding Lot 1 site plan.
Okay. Please take notice that in accordance with local law number 14 of 2022, a public hearing will be held by the Southampton Town Planning Board on Thursday, November 14th, 2024 at 6 p.m. at Town Hall, 116 Hampton Road, Southampton, and via video conferencing to consider the site plan application entitled NRP Holdings LLC Lot 1. This site plan application is for the construction of 79 multifamily units, 6 buildings, and accessory amenities on a proposed 17.33 acre parcel located in the MFPRD Multifamily Planned Residential District, situated at 107 South Country Road, Hamlet of Quayog, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 900-359-4-46 and 47.
Thank you. And Tom, do you want to read number 5, the NRP Holding the Lot number 2 site plan?
Please take notice that in accordance with local law number 14 of 2022, a public hearing will be held by the Southampton Town Planning Board on Thursday, November 14th, 2024 at 6 p.m. at Town Hall, 116 Hampton Road, Southampton, and via video conferencing to consider the site plan application entitled NRP Holdings LLC Lot 2. The site plan application is for existing laundromat and car wash on a proposed 5.6 acre parcel located in the CR40 zoning district, situated at 670 Montauk Highway, Hamlet of Quayog, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 900-359-4-47.
Okay, thank you. So we're going to have the discussion on everything since it's all one discussion. And so let's start with this subdivision, and you can discuss the site plan, lot 1 and lot 2.
Sure. Bailey Larkin with Bennett and Reed, offices at 212 Windmill Lane in Southampton. I have with me this evening Christopher Robinson, who is the engineer with R&M Engineering, and Ken Garvey with BHC Architects, the project architect on this. This project began about 5 years ago in 2019. We had filed an application with the town board for a change of zone to rezone a portion of property in this property in Quiog from R40 to MFPRD, multifamily planned residential. At the initial application, we had contemplated construction of 104 affordable units on the one parcel within the proposed subdivision. Public work sessions were held before the town board in March and November of 2020, and in 2021, the town board elected to consider the change of zone application. A formal application was filed in 2021, and we began the secret process. This board was involved after the actual application had been POSDEC'd. A DEIS was adopted in March of 2022. A scope for the DEIS was adopted in March of 2022, and the DEIS was submitted in July of 2022. Public hearings before the town board were held in November and March 2022 and 2023, and the FEIS was finally filed, incorporating all comments from the public in 2023. The town board adopted a resolution granting the requested change of zone to MFPRD. As part of that grant, as mitigation, the proposal was changed from 104 units to 78 affordable housing units with one additional unit for the manager. 25% open space is proposed, in addition to a 4-acre wooded parcel that's being set aside for potential purchase by CPF. So our first application on the agenda this evening was for a pre-application for the proposed subdivision. The property is comprised of 2 tax lots that are approximately 23 acres in size combined. We're proposing to subdivide it into 3 lots, lot 1, with 2 open space parcels. So lot 1 would be approximately 8.9 acres in size and would accommodate the affordable housing subdivision. Lot 2 is where Strebel's Laundromat and the car wash is, and they'll remain. We're proposing to keep all existing improvements. And the lot would be approximately 5.7 acres in size after the subdivision. Lot 3 is a carve-out for potential purchase by CPF, and we've been in communication with them about the purchase of this parcel as open space. It's been designed to kind of follow the line of the wooded area of this property that's undisturbed. It's a little over 4 acres in size, that parcel, and it would keep wood frontage, open space frontage along Carwin, which is to the west of the property, to the east of the property, sorry. The 2 open space parcels will address the 25% open space requirement. It's broken up into the 2 parcels in the northern portion of Lot 1, and they kind of follow down the east and west property lines to provide screening from the surrounding properties and kind of contain the affordable housing development. The overall subdivision will result in the preservation of over 8 acres of land with this plan that we have before the board. The second application on the agenda for this evening is the site plan application for proposed Lot 1. Which is the affordable housing development. Again, a total of 78 units are proposed with 1 additional unit for the manager. The units have been divided among 6 buildings with 1 community building located in the northwestern portion of the property. The map is turned, trying to figure out my directions there. The northwestern portion next to recreational areas. This development will be serviced by an STP that's kind of located in the southwestern portion of the lot.
It's a sanitary system.
Correct. It's sewage treatment plant.
Treatment plant.
Mm-hmm. On referral from this board, we were at the ARB a few weeks ago, who actually gave us some positive feedback on the project, and they didn't really have any concerns with the architecture that was proposed. Access to the development will be by means of South Country Road. Only. We're providing in excess of the parking requirement with 186 parking spaces proposed. where 158 are required. As I mentioned in discussing the subdivision plan, the proposed development will be adequately screened with the open space parcels that are proposed, in addition to the CPF parcel to the south. With respect to proposed lot 2, we're not actually proposing any improvements on the lot. We're proposing to maintain the existing car wash and laundromat, and we were required to submit this because, of course, the lot configuration has changed as a result of the proposed subdivision. But it'll remain on a parcel that's about 5.7 acres in size. So everyone's available for questions if there are any from the board, or if you'd like to open for public comment.
Well, we've seen this. Maybe you just want to talk about the architecture a little bit?
I have a question before you go.
Yeah.
to the
Oh,
site
sure.
plan. What happens to lot 3 if the CPF purchase doesn't go forward?
The town board resolution said to CPF, it has to be sold to CPF or a similar agency. So it would be still dedicated as open space in some manner, is the intention of the town board resolution.
So the
But-
resolution says if CPF isn't purchased, then what happens to it again?
It says,
Stays open space.
yeah, it's
It becomes
intended
open
to be
space?
open space, but we are in communication with CPF openly discussing the purchase of this property. So,
And that's 8 acres.
correct. It's 4 acres.
Four.
4
4
acres
acres.
for that parcel. Total open space is about 8 acres, though.
So it can't be developed.
Can you just talk about the septic on the car wash? What?
Sure. Chris, do you want to?
Good evening, Chris Robinson, Robinson and Muller Engineers, 50 Elm Street, Huntington, New York. The car wash, the domestic waste from the car wash and from the laundromat, which are your bathrooms and the people that work there, that sewage will be transferred and treated at the sewage treatment plant on lot 1.
I thought I remembered that.
Yeah, so they'll all be together. All the domestic waste will be treated and brought down under 10 milligrams per liter of nitrogen as a full treatment. The laundromat and the car wash both have an industrial treatment for the wash water. The car wash is a Holden Hall because you can't discharge it into the ground. Those systems are already designed. They're fairly new and in place, and they're going to remain. And the one for the laundromat is a pre-treatment for the laundromat. Again, recently rebuilt, and it's going to remain.
Okay, thank you.
Any other engineering questions? Architectural, just a quick overview, quick architectural review.
Good evening, my name's Kenneth Garvin. I'm with BHC Architects, 1300 Walt Whitman Road, Melville, New York, 11747. I'm here tonight just to go over the architecture a little bit for the public, whoever. Again, this is 6 residential buildings on the site, kind of centered on the site, not around the perimeter. They're small 2-story buildings, basically, which have, the smaller buildings have 4 apartments on the first floor, 4 on the second. They have, let me put the rendering up here. Again, there's 78 units and then 1 unit for the manager. And out of those units, there's 1 bedroom, there's 27 1-bedroom units, there's 36 2-bedrooms, and 16 3-bedrooms. And out of those units, there's 8 of them are accessible, fully accessible for the handicap, and 4 of them are designed for the hearing and visual impaired. The other units that are on the ground floor will all be adaptable for handicap accessibility. So if they have to be changed, whatever, they will be designed that way. The design, the exterior looks like a residential design similar to many homes in Southampton. We're using clapboard design, hardy, and we have shakes in certain areas and panels. The design, also we have up on the roof, we're doing a flat roof that's going to be surrounded by a parapet where the equipment's going to go. The project's going to be fully electric, so it's going to be heat pump systems up on the roof. All the units will be LED lighting. They'll be using high efficient appliances and Energy Star appliances, water smart faucets and toilets. And it'll be a very green project.
What about solar?
I believe one of the renderings had solar on it. I'm not 100% if it's going to be solar.
I mean, if you've got totally electric homes, adding solar to reduce the cost.
There you go.
Yeah, they showed on this
They showed
rendering,
solar.
and I'm not 100% on if they're going to do it or not, but usually they do things like that if they can. But I'm here to answer any questions about the design. The Architectural Review Board, I understand, was very happy with what we presented. It's very traditional design, similar to the homes and small structures in the town of Southampton.
Are the units going to have each unit have a designated parking space, or is it just going to be open parking?
I'm not sure. That's really a management question, but there will be. They needed 158 spaces, and they have 180. So I think there's going to be enough parking, but
We won't have designated spaces for each individual unit, but we do have in excess of the parking requirements for them. But just to keep in mind also, these units, as required by the MFPRD requirements, are each accessible from the exterior. So it's almost as if condominium units, where each individual unit has an exterior entrance. So most likely people are going to be parking next to their own door. It's not like you have an entranceway with 5 apartments coming off of it. They'll individually be accessible from the exterior of the building.
The reason I ask is one of the things we've been becoming aware of now with multifamily housing is the introduction of electric vehicles. Okay, and we're trying to develop a mechanism where people can get their cars charged, as opposed to, you can imagine an evening with a dozen extension cords hanging out of windows going across the lawns and sidewalks to plug in these electrical vehicles. One option is to run conduit under the parking areas and have various locations, but then again, you'd have to have a place to generate a central I guess as a homeowners association, or maybe it would be metered. Just something to think about that in the design, because it can come up in the site planning.
Okay. I can talk to them about potential for car chargers and stations on
Just
site.
make provisions.
This
for
is
both.
not, these units are not intended to be purchased. They're all going to be rental units.
Yeah.
So there will be a rental management company that'll be maintaining the property.
Renters are going to have electric
Yes.
costs too.
I know.
You understand what we're trying to
Yes.
avoid there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if the infrastructure is put in place when you're building it,
Yeah,
It's easier.
it's easy
very
to
easy
do.
to run conduit under, PVC lines if you need to get the bollards out to the parking locations.
That's something we can definitely ask.
And the
point.
town's adopted climate action plan, the COP, is really encouraging solar, so we encourage you. We're asking that of most applications.
Good. Yeah, with the, also they're gonna use all LED lighting in the units. They'll be designed, the buildings will be designed with all air sealing details. So when they construct it, if there's any like cracks between the sheathing, they'll seal it. And they do these blower door tests to make sure it's a very tight design once it's complete.
Okay.
Low VOC paints and whatnot. It's,
Convection stoves.
yeah,
Okay, so we have some people who'd like to speak.
okay.
Joseph and Joanne Ventimiglia, are you here? Please come up to the podium. Can you just move that so people don't trip on it?
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Joseph Ventimiglia. This is my wife, Janine.
Welcome.
We own this property here for the past 24 years, and we were privileged to move into this area knowing that it was pretty much preserved, not legally, but pretty much wooded area and slightly developed. Of lately, we've had this beautiful development that has taken place just beyond Carwin Road, with homes that are in $2.5 to $3 million price range. We were very happy to see that as an upgrade to our community. Quiog is quite small, I'm sure you're aware of it, but we hold it close to us. The other point I'd like to make is that it wasn't zoned residential when we built the house here, and it became residential. We were very pleased with that, hoping that more homes were being built later on in time would be residential, similar to ours. And my final point is, I think this is going to be mute, is that we paid a hefty tax when we bought our home for land preservation, for the Pine Barren tax, and we would hope that not a little piece of it, but all of it would have been preserved for the future for Southampton. You have anything?
I'm just concerned about, this seems to be good and here, but you're saying that they might develop in this area here?
No, it
No,
sounds like
it's
that's
all-
gonna be
It's gonna
preserved.
be
That'll be
preserved.
preserved, definitely.
Yeah.
About 8
Yeah,
acres of
I'm concerned about
preserved
people on
property.
Harwin,
That was my first question to the,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to look across and see this.
No,
Uh,
I think it'll be-
I think we're kind of late for this because it looks like this is almost a done deal. But again, I want to make it my point is that it should have been land preservation, or it should have continued to be zoned for single-family homes. Thank you very much
Thank
for
you.
hearing.
Michael Meyer,
Meyer.
please.
We live here. I feel that it's just an abundance of people you're putting in this area. It seems like you're gonna tax the whole situation with the amount of people you're just bringing in. It seems like, I just can't, there's all 1 acre zoning, and then you pushing this through, and I just don't see how that fits the area at all, and how that's gonna work with schools and everything else, with all those people coming in. So that's my biggest thing. I think it's just, he says, small, 2-story buildings, that there's nothing 2-story in that area at all. So that's my biggest thing, is that I think it's just too massive.
Right. Well, the town board rezoned this,
Yeah, I
to
know.
multifamily, so.
But
for
even that
affordable housing.
multifamily, I mean, you gotta, so they're saying they only have 158 spots. They're counting for like, what is it, 186, 181. So there's gonna be well over 200 people in there. I mean, if you rough it out in a basic family in the houses, it's comes over 200 people,
Could be,
definitely. So, I don't know.
okay. Your comments are noted.
Thank
Thank you. Rebecca Scula? No one? Is there anyone on Zoom? Kevin? Arthur Mendoza? Mary Martin?
Are you Arthur?
Yes.
You
oh,
want to
he's
talk?
Oh, good, okay.
I do agree that it should stay preserved, and that's all I'm gonna say. I think it's gonna create a big problem for our community, traffic-wise, and as it is, it's crazy. Our schools are gonna be full, so I would like to see preserved. Thank you.
Thank you. Mary Martin? Okay. Is there anyone on, you said there's no one on Zoom, Kevin?
No one.
And this
Okay.
would be for anybody that signed up for any of the 3 hearings.
Yeah.
Just so everybody understands.
Christine, do I have to close each one separately?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, do you want to just, does anybody else want to speak? You've got one lady there then.
Does anyone else want to speak?
Do either of you two want to speak? Do you want to speak? They're the only two that have spoken.
Okay,
Motion to close the subdivision.
okay, so the first is the subdivision application that we're going to close with,
30 days. I'll move for 30 days.
I agree.
okay, 30-day written comment period on the subdivision. Motion by Dennis.
Second.
Second by Gloria. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions, 5 in favor, 2 absent. And then we're moving to NRP Holding Lot 1 site plan. We might as well do them all 30 days then.
Yes.
30-day, Tom, you move that?
Yes.
And second by
Second.
Dennis. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions, 5 in favor, 2 absent. And the last piece is the NRP Holding Lot 2 site plan, and that'll be a 30-day written comment period.
Motion.
Motion by Gloria, second by Kate, all in favor.
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions, 5 in favor, 2 absent. So please send us letters, your comments, people who couldn't come. The record is open for 30 days, okay? Thank you very much for coming.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn by Dennis, second
Second.
by Gloria, all in favor. Opposed, abstentions, 5 in favor, 2 absent, we're adjourned.